Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In my video today, I'm going to be showing you two dishes that are perfect to bring to your summer barbecue. One's a dessert and it is cherry cake, and the other is a dip and is jalapeno popper dip. The first one I'm going to show you is how to make the cake, and this is everything that you're going to need. The first thing you'll need is a box of white cake mix. You're going to need a half a cup of water, 3 eggs. You're also going to need some almond flavoring or extract, either a tub of cream cheese frosting, or you can make your own cream cheese frosting. I was going to make my own, but my grocery stores are having a limit restriction on cream cheese and I needed it for the dip, so I just went ahead and got a tub of pre-made. You're going to need a 10 or 12 ounce jar of maraschino cherries, 1 box of cherry jello mix, and 3/4 a cup of oil. I'm going to be using olive oil, but you can use vegetable oil. The first thing you're going to do is drain the cherries from the fluid in the jar. I'm going to be saving the fluid just because I like to make Shirley Temple drinks, and the fluid in the jar of maraschino cherries is perfect for that. But we're going to just need the cherries for the recipe, not the juice. I'm just going to go ahead and dump my cherries into my KitchenAid mixing bowl. You don't have to use a KitchenAid mixer if you don't have one, but the cherries do need to be blended or pureed in some manner. So if you don't have a KitchenAid but you have a hand mixer, that would be fine, or you can use a blender to get the cherries the consistency you like for the cake. I don't want mine completely pureed, so I kind of left mine in pieces. It's personal preference, really. Once you have the cherries the consistency that you want in the cake, you can go ahead and add the rest of your ingredients. I've already put in my jello mix, my cake mix, and my water. Now I'm going to be putting in my oil and my eggs and then blending it until it is fully combined. While your cake mix is mixing, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. The next thing I'm going to do is grease my baking dish. You are supposed to use a 13 by 9, but I only have this dish that's a little bit smaller, so it's just going to have to bake a little bit longer than the time suggested. For a 13 by 9 inch pan, it's recommended to bake it at 350 for a half hour. My pan, like I said, is a little bit smaller, so mine took about 40 minutes. Here's what it looks like once it's poured into the baking dish. It's a very vibrant red. I'm going to go plop this in the oven, and like I said, mine took about 40 minutes to be baked all the way through. I just poked the toothpick in the center to double check to make sure that it came out clean, to ensure that it was properly baked. This is what it looks like once it's cooked. As you can see, the top doesn't look as red. You can see more of the color from the side here, but once you cut into it, you'll see it's a beautiful bright red color. The next thing we're going to do is make the frosting. Like I said, I'm using a jar of pre-made cream cheese frosting, but you can go ahead and use your favorite homemade cream cheese frosting recipe if you want to do that way. That would be perfectly fine. You're just going to add a little bit of almond extract or flavoring into the icing to get the flavor that you like. I've used probably a little bit less than a teaspoon, but you want to go ahead and use as much as you like. If you like stronger flavoring of almond, you can use more or less, your preference, or you can omit it entirely. It would be fine with just a cream cheese frosting without the almond flavoring. I'm going to go ahead and spread my frosting all over the top of the cake until it is even. This cake is absolutely perfect to bring to any summer barbecue, but it is especially great for Memorial Day or the 4th of July because it has those beautiful red colors inside of it. It just looks patriotic, but like I said, you could take it to any summer barbecue. It doesn't have to be a holiday. Right, here is my cake here. Let me cut a piece to show you what it looks like on the inside. And this is the finished product. This cake is absolutely delicious. It has so much delicious cherry flavoring in it, and it just looks beautiful. Your family and friends will definitely enjoy it. The next thing we're going to do here is make the jalapeno popper dip, and for this recipe you're going to need some bacon. I'm just using the rest of a pack I had thawed out from my freezer. For seasonings, you're going to need some onion powder as well as some garlic powder. You're going to just use those to taste. Half a bag of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, or you can shred your own. If you shred your own, you'll need about a cup. 1 brick of full fat cream cheese, and some jalapenos. Mine are rather large, so I'm going to be using 3, but if you have smaller ones, feel free to use more. First thing I'm going to do is cook my bacon, and to do this I'm putting it into my oven. I preheated it to 375 degrees and it took about 15 minutes to cook fully. My strips are broken in half. I broke them so they would fall better in the bowl, but altogether I have about 9 pieces here. While my bacon is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and take care of my peppers. I'm just going to cut the tops off of them and then cut them in half and remove the seeds and the membrane. I am removing most of the seeds. The seeds and the membrane is where the most heat is, so keep as much you want. You know, if it's for your preference really. If you want it really spicy, keep more seeds. If you want it more tame, you know, clear out as many as you want. I took probably about 90% out of my peppers and then just saved a little bit just because I didn't want it to be too overpowering in case my kids wanted to try it. Once my peppers are cut up, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in my baking dish. I'm just using a round baking dish. This, you know, isn't a gigantic recipe. You can absolutely double it if you're going to a large barbecue. I'm just going to a small family barbecue this weekend, so I didn't need too much. So this round cake dish was perfect. And why dirty another dish when you can mix it all in one, right? The next thing I'm going to be doing is putting my cream cheese in here. I did leave this out on the counter for a few hours so that it could come to room temperature because it's just much easier to spread and mix when it is not freezing cold. If you forget to take your cream cheese out of the refrigerator before you make this recipe, it's not a big deal. Just take it out of its foil packaging, put it on a microwave safe dish, and pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and it will get it to that room temperature consistency that you would need. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and add half my bag of cheddar cheese. You could do more or less depending on your preference. For the amount of dip that I'm making, half a bag is just right, in my opinion. But like I said, if you double or triple the recipe, just adjust accordingly. And if you're shredding it by hand, this is about 1 cup. I'm going to go ahead and season it to taste. I'm going to be using garlic powder and onion powder. I don't exactly measure my garlic and onion powder. I just use, how much I think looks right, but you can use however much you like or omit it entirely if you don't like these flavors. I'm just going to go ahead and mix this all together until it is well combined. Then I'm going to take my bacon out of the oven, let it cool a little bit until it's, not burning hot and I can handle it. And then I will cut it up into small pieces and incorporate it into this mixture as well. When you're cutting your bacon, you don't want to have huge chunks, but you want to use, basically bite-sized pieces so that every time somebody takes a scoop out of the dip, they get a little bit of bacon, but not a huge, like, honking piece. So bite-sized pieces, really. I've left my oven on, by the way, because this dish is going to bake at 375. So once I took my bacon out, I just left it preheated to 375. It's going to look like this once it's all mixed, and then you're going to bake it for about 15 minutes, and then it will look like this when it comes out of the oven. It is so creamy and gooey. It is delicious. Your family is definitely going to love this. Make sure you try this dip. It's great. We use Ritz crackers, but you can use pita chips or whatever you like. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.